Hi everyone, welcome to another review for the Rings of Power, episode 5, which has been titled The Parting. What do you think of it, Manish? Or do you want to give us a little a review of it? Sorry, first.
Yeah,
before.
so last episode we dealt with two or three storylines, and this one they seem to have bunged in every storyline, switching. I found the first 10 minutes of the episode, or first 15 minutes of the episode, they gave each storyline 2 minutes before shifting to the next, and they're doing it so quickly. I was like, hey, whoa, calm down, let them have a bit of, let the characters like talk to each other for a bit. But in terms of the main storyline, which we always talk about in this show, the Galadriel part, we start off in Numenor, where not everyone agrees with the Queen's decision to leave Numenor and join Galadriel's quest. She starts speaking for other people. Galadriel as well starts speaking for Halbrand. He definitely wants to. Yeah, he wants to fight for us. Yeah, don't worry about him. Don't ask him though. But he wants to fight for us. Don't ask him. But yeah, she starts teaching.
She's so obnoxious.
it's so weird. It's like, why don't you go ask him? You're really that desperate. She then goes and starts teaching sword fighting to some of the soldiers. Although I don't know why they don't already know. If they don't already know sword fighting, mate.
What I love about that is that she's teaching people who hate elves how to sword fight, and it's brilliant. And also that scene is brilliant because it has so much bullshit in there. It's such a bullshit scene, but it's a golden nugget because it's just so. Yeah,
I found it really weird. I find it really weird because she was teaching them sword fighting. None of them could get close to her. It was her own sword that ripped her clothing, not draw blood. I swear, I might be remembering it wrong, but I swear it was whoever draws blood. It's like no one drew blood, and I thought Isildur would come on and go, like, I drew blood, make me.
The Isildur we've got in this is a fucking numpty.
He's been banned from everything. He obviously hasn't earned his place in terms of fighting or being part of the army. He's poor at everything he does. They even asked him about. His dad even said, in terms of the smithing, he was bad at smithing, or he's not even trying to earn his place there. Everything he does, he's bad at. So just bounce.
What I find really funny is because he fucked up and he didn't destroy the ring. I don't know if someone in their mind has been like, let's make this guy an absolute fallout. He just is just an absolute numpty at fucking everything. And it's like, honestly, he's like a character out of Percy Jackson. To the
point where even his mates are like, I love you, I really love you, but you're a dick. You shouldn't be anywhere near us. I love you though. I love you, but don't be anywhere near us.
I've known you for like my whole life.
He happens to get an out where the character who we thought would be a nobody in last week's episode does something this episode, but he's still a bit of a dick. The Chancellor's son happens to try to burn, well, he does successfully burn one of the ships, but he gets caught in the process by Isildur, who saves him from the burning boat. I was like, you're saving him from the burning boat. The Chancellor's son, did he not have an exit strategy when he was thinking about burning? Was he gonna burn the ship and then go, oh shit, where do I go now? oh god, this is as far as I thought ahead in terms of burning the ship.
Riddle me this, wait, humor me for 1 second, but riddle me this, yeah? They blow up one ship.
2.
There's 5 ships, they blow up 1.
I thought they blew up 2.
They blow up 1.
Okay.
And 3 sail out of the harbour. Where
he obviously had a select amount of people that he didn't want leaving Numenor, so he thought, I'll blow up their ship.
No, he just the thing is, all the ships are the same.
No, I was being sarcastic in the sense that it wouldn't have achieved anything. He just made less people go. People still would have gone.
The other thing I found really funny about that scene, or the ships leaving scene, about that whole storyline was these ships are meant to carry like 100 people,
Are they?
but there's only
They
20. Yeah,
It didn't look like it carried
yeah,
100 people.
exactly. That's my point. They say it in there
Oh, okay.
that they're going to take 5 ships. There's about 500 people, and yet we only see 20 people at the end of like. As a what? So you've got like 80 people just hugging each other downstairs. It's just like.
Yeah, that was weird. I'll
But
come
yeah,
on to that.
it's funny.
Galadriel,
Yeah.
Galadriel manages to convince Halbrand somehow, and the Halbrand then manages to convince the Queen, and then they set sail. At the end, which is the end of the episode, we again are treated to a slow motion Galadriel entering the ship. They are loving these slow motion Galadriels. They're loving these slow motion.
She is the queen right now. There was a slow motion bit when she's fighting. God knows what the fuck that was for.
Was there a
because
slow
it
motion
was
bit
like,
there?
yeah, so she's fighting all of them at one point, and then she does like this backflip or like this back kind of step kind of thing, and there's
Slow motion Galadriel activate.
and she's just like, and it's like Jesus Christ, man! Like, come on, like we
They're
get
saving,
it,
they're saving all their slow motion budget for Galadriel. I think she like won in a card game or something. Moving on to the secondary storyline, starting off with the Adar, Arondir, Theo portion of the storyline. Adar gets told his tunnel is complete. The tunnel, for what I don't know, but you did mention it could be the outline for Mordor.
Well, I mean that. Yeah,
but
but
it's just the fact that he said tunnel and not trench or not.
It's kind of weird though. So what happened to the trench you were building? Finish that first before we start building tunnels.
The funny bit of that portion, that storyline I found was where Waldrick convinces 50% of the town to leave and bow to Adar. He gets there and he goes, "I'll bow to Sauron." He goes, "Hang on, you are Sauron, aren't you?" I just took 50% of the town here. Just want to make sure. No. Fraser says, "I bow to Sauron." Then he goes, "Oh, after I've said that, you are Sauron, aren't you?"
Do you know what? One thing I love. It's a con of mine, but I just want to highlight that what I love about this show is that his argument about a woman saying that she's not the king that she says that very openly. I'm not the king that you want me to be. We get that because anyway. His argument for taking 50% of the people in this keep, which is not, it's just a fucking watchtower. It's not like is our ancestors, they lived, and then everyone's like, yeah, fuck it, that's it. Just
we're alive now, so that must mean they were good. They did good back then, or they somehow survived back then.
Everyone's like, yeah. How is that a fucking?
It was the brilliant bit of idiocy I've ever seen. Then we get to the Theo portion where Theo confides in Arondir about the hilt, and then somehow in the same place they're in, this happens to be an ominous statue of the sword. I thought they were going to go somewhere to go look at the statue. Like, I remember somewhere I've seen this statue. Like, I've seen this statue, and then he turns around. I was like, that statue there. That's the statue I've seen.
The wall of the mountain where literally you've spent 3 days there. If you spent 3 episodes there, you didn't think to move the fucking.
It's just some funny looking rocks. No one's gonna think about it. And that portion ends with Bronwyn giving up. She gives up. She's like, oh, that time that Waldrick said that we lived. Maybe that's what we do. We live. It seemed like a silly portion to end there. Moving on, we see the Elrond Durin portion of the episode, where Durin has dinner with the. Is it called the High King?
The High King.
High King.
I thought that was brilliant.
With him and Elrond. The king tells Elrond that the tree is dying as well, and so you need to tell us whether they have. They call it something different. They call it the Silmarillion. It's
Mithril,
it's Mithril. We know it's Mithril, and to tell us whether they have the Mithril. I'm going to say Mithril, the Mithril or not. Right. And Elrond is like, I have an oath to Durin that I cannot break. Every time the king asks him, he says, I have an oath that I cannot break. That should be a clue in the king's mind that okay, that means they have it. Not like that's not a no. That just means
it's like I know that you know that we know, but you don't know that I know that you know.
It's so weird.
Someone might know.
It's Elrond saying that I can't break my oath. Do they have it? I can't break my oath.
I
He would
don't
have just
know.
said
Yeah.
no. He would have just said
Yeah.
no. The king would be like, I just want you to say those words. I know they have it, but I just want you to say those words.
But see,
I
what's
found-
funny is
Yeah.
he says that I've broken my oath and I've told him, and it's just like
that bit was weird. I did find a portion of that dinner funny where Durin's telling the High King about the story about the table and how it's made that tablets that stone is used for like major events and funerals and yada yada yada, and the King's like, we'll send it back with you, and Durin's like, I made that shit up.
I thought that was brilliant. To be fair, that's one thing I really liked. Is I do really like Durin. I like his humor.
Yeah.
As in, like, I like the fact that he is cheeky, but he just makes shit up on the fly, and he's just like, he just loves to see happy.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah. It's a brilliant character.
And then Elrond, being the honourable person he is, he goes and tells Durin first that, look, I haven't broken my oath, but I want to tell you the situation I'm in.
Yeah.
And I'll leave it to you what you want to do.
How you want to, yeah.
And I thought Durin was an absolute legend. He's just like, okay, all right, fine. The right thing to do is obviously to keep your race alive. Let me see if we can convince
He's obviously playing to his in this particular. He's playing to his ego. Dwarves have a very big ego in the sense that if they
I don't think that's the case. I think he's generally appealing to his friend, and Durin's thinking, you know what, as my friend, you're right. I don't want to be responsible for the death of a race. You are right. This is the right way to do it. But my dad's not gonna.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah.
My dad's not gonna want to do it. So it's up to me and you to convince my dad. I generally think if they didn't have any book, Durin and Elrond would make best mates forever kind of thing.
If they do a spin-off, please, I want that one.
But I want a buddy cop show with Elrond and Durin.
A medieval catch and release program.
Yeah, basically. And then we finish off with the last portion of the episode, something that was missing from the last one, something Shyam wasn't that bothered by, but I was bothered by the missing in the last episode, and that was the Harfoot and fake G.
Gandalf, no Gandalf.
Yeah, fake.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna say this once. If you do not know by now that this is Gandalf, you are living in a dream world, because
you know what's funny? When he spoke, and yes, he spake this episode, he sounded Irish.
To be fair, I mean, I couldn't really hear what he was. The TV was on loud, and I was like,
he was saying the words she was saying, and he came. I swear, he sounded Irish. I was like, that's not Gandalf. Gandalf's not Irish. But anyway, that episode starts off with Nori teaching fake G, which he shall henceforth be known fake G. Fake G about just teaching him words as such. And we see it's only for like 10, maybe 20 seconds. We find that some people are looking for fake G as they search the crater, or they look at the crater. I don't know who the people are. Shyam will know who they are, and he's obviously got that look.
To be fair, I don't even know who they are right now, because I can't even recognize them. I mean this in the sincerest way. It's such a waste of a scene. It's two women, and it's three women. I don't know. It's basically a group of people looking for him.
Yeah.
We don't know who they are. We don't know what they're after. They have to remind us where the crater was, what we get is just he touches they touch the sand or whatever it is, and then they look at us, and it's like, that was in the trailer. You've added a new story. You've added some new people in. We don't know who the fuck they are. Like, just
and you're showing us something we've already seen in the trailer. Why are you showing stuff now? Yeah.
There was a woman holding like a mirror, or like, and it's like, what is that? Anyway, but we do see briefly.
It's going to be a slow burn when introducing
and
them. The wolves attack the camp, or they're about to attack the camp, and fake G comes to the aid of the Harfoots, and does
He Hulk smashes the ground.
yeah,
out
Hulk
of,
smashes the ground, but burns his arm in the process. I don't know. I don't know how that helps. How that works. Nori goes to help him, give him beeswax to put on himself, and
yeah,
he
ends up
inadvertently
freezing her.
he ends up freezing her. It's like it's a little X-Men episode when it comes to that portion of
It reminds me of the bit at the end of Demolition Man, if anyone actually remembers that
Yeah,
movie, where
yeah.
they drop the little thing and everything freezes. It's just like But,
I don't know what
it's-
happened. He got lost in the spell he was doing, or he fell asleep mid-spell, and it just cracked on.
Yeah, I think at this stage he's still. It's obviously this scene. It's still basically he's losing himself in his spells when he's saying them. He doesn't realize the effect that he has. I think that's what it is, because he does it with the dark tongue, the black tongue, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
When the trees all cave in, he does it there as well. So I think he's just trying to figure out when the duration. Like, don't lose yourself in your own spell, because you just fuck up everything. But yeah. That was
the entirety of the episode.
That was the entire.
There's a lot of stuff. To be fair to the episode, a lot of stuff happened, but they just did it. Initially, the second half of the episode, I think they done correctly, because they allowed a specific storyline to evolve in that 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then move to the next one. Whilst in the beginning half, they were moving back and forth between 4 storylines so quickly. I was like, hey, whoa, just let it rest a little. I know you've got a lot to show us, because you didn't show us a lot in the bloody last episode, or the episode before that. I can't remember.
The funny thing is, it's still considered a slow burner, because in the last episode they were like, yeah, let's leave, and then they've just left at the end of this episode. And it's like, but you should have left 2 episodes ago. Like, why are you leaving now? Kind of thing. Like, just.
I think moving on to our pros and cons. What was your one pro from this episode?
Well, actually, no. To be fair, on my list I've got 2. And one of them is, this is the best episode we've seen so far. But
I can't be a pro for an episode. You're talking about what happens inside it as a pro. I can't be the rest for shit from now.
No, I felt like they were getting on with the story. I mean, personally, I don't know. I feel like they were getting on with the story a little bit more. They were showing us a little bit more. Fine, it's still a slow burner, like I said, but there was a little bit more done. They got a lot more done.
Okay.
And the other thing was, I like the fact that they showed the half-foot part of it. We didn't drag it through the mud. They just showed us a map, and it's like, yeah, look, they spent the last 3 weeks doing all this shit. Like, that was good, because you're being concise. You're saying, right, they've made this journey that they make.
And you don't need to see this extra bit.
You don't need to see that. There's nothing interesting that's happening or whatever.
I think my pro for this episode was the way they did it. It's called parting, or partings, or something like that. The
partings.
And it was, in most of the storylines, it was an episode about confessions or confiding in people. And in the Galadriel one, she's confiding to Halbrand about why she's doing what she's doing, which sort of makes him agree and makes him trust her a bit more, as we'll hopefully see going forward. In the Arondir and the Theo portion, we see Theo confess that he's got the hilt, because he kept that hidden for a little bit. Like, I didn't tell anyone. Yeah, a bit too long, and he's actually confiding, and that might help in the future, because they may have a weapon on their hands, even though there's
a key.
There's a weird ominous statue. The Elrond and Durin episode, we see Elrond finally confide in Durin that, look, and the king confide to Elrond, this is what we actually wanted to do. We didn't go there as a fig.
It was intended for you to go there. Yeah, there's a purpose. Yeah.
And then Elrond confiding in Durin that this is my situation. Really, what do you want to do about it? It's not all innocent. The only one that I don't think there was any confiding in is probably the Harfoot and the fake G portion of. But the majority of it was an episode of confession, which I liked. That
element of the Harfoot one was more, she's kind of realizing that he's a bit too. She's doubting herself. Like, is
Be
he good? Is he
cautious.
bad?
Be
Yeah,
cautious.
she's becoming
I think my one con would be something
only
you've already
one.
mentioned is just that the fake G storyline was just too slow. Yes, they moved through the countryside or wherever they were moving quickly, but in terms of his actual part of it,
Yeah,
we didn't get to see.
yeah.
We didn't get to see much. He managed to scare away some wolves, and he burnt himself, and he froze her, but there wasn't proper movement in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
show
yeah.
they
It's
show
just
they show her staring at him, staring at the stars of the moon, and
yeah,
there's no momentum in what's happening there. It's just okay, we're led to believe he likes to stare at the moon.
yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. I mean, my cons are. I mean, there's quite a few on the list, but I'm only gonna highlight the main ones, and one of them is that I don't know what their big secret is with certain things. Like, for
See,
example,
I just want to interrupt him there because
no,
we agreed last episode that when we do this, we're going to do one pro and one con, and it was his rule, just do one pro and one con. And the way you know that Shyam really doesn't like a show is that he's made the rule about one con, but he's probably written about 6 or 7 that he can't decide which to choose. So he's gonna go on, give us your
I'll give it
cons.
no, but they're not. I'm not. These are not nitpicky ones. They are proper. Is one of them is that they. They're repurposing stuff from Tolkien's books, and
Right.
and that's fine. But if you're gonna do it properly. Like, for example, the song that
Her friend sings.
the other Harfoots.
Yeah,
What's her name?
I can't remember.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So female Sam basically sings it.
Yeah.
And yeah. So, but there are parts of that where it's from a poem, and you know that's you know that's Gandalf basically from that, because that is something that Gandalf tells Bilbo. Bilbo would then write a poem about Aragorn, and he's basically taking that song, and it basically gets repurposed.
Yeah.
So there are little Easter eggs, but it's like, if you're going to do it properly. The famous Tolkien line is, not all those who wander are lost. That's like a famous, like really famous line. In this, they put, not all who wander alone, or something stupid like that, and it's like, just
No, they do. No, they do say say not all who wander are lost. They do say that.
They do, yeah. I'm sure they do. It's in the beginning. I think it's in the poem bit, but it's like, But one of my main gripes is the dialogue. Like, I don't know what this season cost them. 600 million. No, I've got it written down. I think it was 6 million. This season cost them 6 million, and we're getting dialogue like it's. I don't know what they've spent the money on. Like, I'm being honest. Like, the dialogue is so simple. If you just, okay, maybe not compare it, but look at the old Lord of the Rings. Look at the House of Dragon. Look at different TV shows and how people are talking in them, and then you look at the shit like this. The dialogue is so simple. I feel it's very simple. Like, it could be a little bit more spicier. They could have added a few more flavor of some notes in there, like make it a little bit more. You can't just say, oh, we're leaving an entire watchtower because our ancestors lived. Well, fucking whoop-de-doo. Let's just
No, but I think that's the beauty of that. You're talking about the wardrobe bit.
I'm talking about the whole fucking episode. It's like, it's so simple. So simple.
What were your other? If you had any other major cons to?
Well, there's loads in here, but no, it was. No, I think that was it. I think the main thing was like the oath. We talked about it. The oath that he took, that he broke, that we know that they know that nobody knows. It was that. It was. I mean, Isildur was an absolute fucking numpty, like something out of Peter Pan. There is, apart from that, my issue, like I said, the pro of this was it was a good episode in the sense that it was better than the other ones. We got to see a little bit more of other things. The story is progressing, but it's like, just get along with it. You had so much to this episode. They could have
Can you
told us
just
so much.
can you
about-
just lift up your notepad to the cons bit? I just wanna take a look at
So
your
the
pro
cons-
being.
cons start there, and it.
So
finishes.
this is the best episode you've seen, and your cons are basically an entire page long.
But with my cons, it's very, like I said, it's very nitpicky in the sense that
Is it based on someone who, like yourself, who knows the law?
Yeah. That's why I've only mentioned one or two things because I don't want to keep bringing that into it because we know this is not a show that is. This is for the modern people. This show is, and that's fine. Like, that's fine. But it is. But it's like you can't just. The problem with other critics that I've seen is it's law, and I get that, but you can't. They've told you it's not going to be a show about that, so look beyond it and see what else are they doing bad. It's like.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. We'll carry on watching it. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, whether you liked it. What were your pros and cons of this episode specifically? But other than that, please like, share, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you know when our next episode drops. And we'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Yeah.